Someone else appears to be controlling nuclear weapons, and it's not people. Shadow Man and Luminous balls. Former Air Force technician Adrian Reister told Daily Star about glowing balls appearing over a Missouri military base and a macabre encounter with a shadow man, quote unquote. In his opinion, the encounter is directly connected with nuclear weapons. Reister served at Whiteman Air Force Base in Missouri from 2003 to 2007. On duty, he possessed extensive knowledge of base-based technology. During his service, he happened to see a UFO twice. Reister's team provided security and verification on the safe storage and movement of nuclear weapons at the base. During the movement on one of the nuclear warheads, a slightly luminous spherical cloud appeared above the base, hovering at the level of the tops of the trees. Reister did not pay much attention to it, but during the transfer of the warhead to the transport group, a bizarre cloud, quote unquote, drew attention to itself with sharp movements. At first it bounced a little, then it moved fast to the north, then abruptly went up and disappeared. This quote unquote cloud. Sometime later, he and his co-workers saw another luminous orb emitting a yellowish white color that behaved similarly to the first one. It also swept over the base as if watching what was happening below. The luminous ball disappeared silently into the sky with incredible speed. But the strangest event happened in the summer of 2006, while workers working the night shift doing a nuclear maintenance drill on a mock bomb. The nuclear technician encountered a creature he called Shadow Man. First, he heard footsteps that did not sound like standard combat boots. Now, this reminds us of the recent ET UFO experience in Las Vegas. And there have been videos of these 10, 11 feet tall humanoids that appear to be wearing invisibility cloaks. But their shadows have been shown passing between the people and the trees. Now, going back to this. First, he heard footsteps that did not sound like standard combat boots. It was more like bare feet slapping. Reister got up to see what was walking around the base barefoot at night and encountered something inexplicable. He said, "I saw something that's difficult to describe. It looked like a black mass with a contour resembling a person, about 6 feet high," he said, "and this humanoid creature was slightly blurry and did not reflect any light." There we go. This describes what was seen and videoed by the police in Las Vegas. Okay? He was humanoid, tall, blurry, did not reflect any light. That's the same description as what happened with the ETs in Las Vegas. But they were like 10, 11 feet tall. They were huge. They were almost as tall as the roof of the house. Now, Reister was, going back to this, Reister was struck by the fact that on a heavily guarded base where the presence of strangers is down to zero, of course, something incomprehensible walks freely in top secret interior zones. Reister refused to comment on the details of the encounter, referring to secrecy, adding only that the nuclear weapons of humans are under whose something not human control, and it is not known whether the armed forces of nuclear powers will be able to use them at all in the event of a global conflict. You can, of course, fully dismiss this interview simply as a joke of a former military man, but this has happened before. As we said, it recently happened. These humanoids have been videoed by Las Vegas Police Department. You can find them on the internet. And they are shadow people, but the ones in Las Vegas were like up to the roof of the house, apparently wearing some kind of a cloaking mechanism. And the light doesn't reflect off them. That's another thing. Now, for example, a well-known case of March 24th, 1967 at the Malmstrom Air Force Base in Montana, United States, when, while hovering over the UFO base, access to control of all nuclear missiles located there was completely disabled. Despite attempts to restore control, This became possible only after the disappearance of the object, the UFO that is, when everything started working right away. A similar incident occurred a week earlier at a nearby nuclear missile launch control facility. Of course, it seems that there were more such incidents, and this gives some hope that someone controls the initiation of potential nuclear conflict in the same way as matches are not toys for children, quote unquote. But on the other hand, where is the guarantee that this unknown someone or something does not use mankind's nuclear arsenal for its own unknown purposes, including against humans, who, deprived of control of their own weapons, will not be able to do anything to protect themselves against invaders? Let's remember that these are some events that took place in the US, but these things have also taken place in Iran, Iraq, Russia, and China. Now, we are not alone on the planet, it seems, and our neighbors who created us who knows, I'm sure they didn't create us, they're just something else, are watching so that children do not destroy the common habitat. If one nuclear maniac were taken away, all of humanity would be calmer, but it looks like others are grazing him, dark forces that is, the Prince of Darkness or Grey Dwarfs or whatever, as Nostradamus would have called him. And this is on Solask. Please leave your comments. Thank you for your support. Please support my Patreon account. The daily posts are 5 videos daily, and they are totally different from what I have on my YouTube channel. Thank you so much for your support and that you find all my content so interesting. You'll find the Patreon account details in the description box below.